Welcome to the LED Kingdom, my Jamaica Crash News Vehicles, guys. And today we are giving our customers what we promised them. Yes, we have promised to review socket types from about last year, and we are just getting to it. Okay, remember the video that we did wherein we showed you guys the socket types from H1, H3, H4, H7, H11, 9005, 9006, and so on. Now, many times persons will contact us trying to figure out which bulb actually goes into their vehicle, and even though they have the bulb in front of them, they are not able to tell. So today we will be doing simple tutorials just to show you guys what the socket types are and where they will possibly fit in your vehicle. Okay, so we have some T1 bulbs here, guys, very bright, and on my left side I have what is called an H1 bulb. How do I determine that this is an H1 bulb? First of all, your bulb is determined by the plug, right, and the neck. Now, on every H1, the neck is round with a cut off. It wouldn't be round here, it would be like semi-round or something, right? So it will be round on one side and a side cut off. Only H1 bulbs look like this, okay? Only H1. Okay, so persons tend to mix up the H1 bulbs with the H3 bulbs, and today I will show you what an H3 bulb looks like, okay? And I will compare it with the H1. Now this right here is your H3 bulb. It has the plug, very similar to the H1, and it has the neck. Now the difference is the neck, guys. The neck of the H3 has two slits on opposite ends. Alright, so this is what the H3 looks like. Great. Now let's look at the H1 and the H3. Do you see the similarity with the plug? However, do you see the difference in the neck? Alright guys, we'll move right on to H4. Now, an important detail which I left out, guys, is that H1 and the H3 bulbs are single beam bulbs, which means they can be used in both high and low beams. Now, what kind of vehicle does the H1 and H3 fit? It can fit some of your 1990s vehicles, right, or 1980s vehicles. The typical area that these lights will fit will be in the fog lamps. Alright, now they can be used in headlamps as well. It really depends on the kind of vehicle that you're driving. Alright, great. Welcome back to the LED Kingdom, my Jamaica Crash News Vehicles, and today we will be reviewing the H4 bulb. We have some T1s here, okay, and these are high and low beam H4. Now the H4 is a very common bulb in Jamaica, very common. It's easy, very easy to identify. We have a 4-sprung plug, okay, male plug, and the neck is very big with 3 sprungs on the outer area. All right, now this is exactly how the socket of the headlamp is fitted. So this has been your H4, guys, high and low beam. Only your H4s are high and low beams. All the other bulbs that we will review, which are the H1, the H3, which we have already reviewed, the H11, 9005, 9006, these bulbs are single beam bulbs. Only the H4 is high and low beam. Single beam simply means that they can be used in either high or low beam. Why is the H4 bulb high and low beam? It is because typically vehicles that carry H4 bulbs, they only have one slot for the headlight Therefore, it is that one slot alone that will be used for bright and dim. Okay, vehicles that carry H7 and 9005, 9006, you'll find that they have two slots, one slot for the high beam and one slot for the low beam. It's LED Kingdom. Great. Welcome back to the LED Kingdom, guys, and today we will be taking a look at the H7 bulb. Yes, the H7 is a very unique bulb. All right, this bulb is actually used in the higher class vehicles like Nissans, BMWs, you name it. Now today we will be looking at how to identify the H7 bulb. First, you look at the plug. It is a 2-sprung male plug. Now when you look at the neck, you will see that you have a round area with a tiny kick right there. Somebody might call it something else. It's like a little handle, you can hold it like that. See? That is what the H7 bulb is. Alright? So if you should open your vehicle, you should take out the H7 out of your vehicle. Here it is. You can easily identify it now that we have made this video. Okay? Wonderful. Now H7 bulbs are high beams, guys. Alright? These are high beam bulbs. Well, they are single beam bulbs which can be used in high or low beam, right? However, as in you can use it in the high beam slot or the low beam slot. However, these bulbs are typically high beam bulbs. Like in any vehicle that you see, or most vehicles that you see in H7, it is in the high beam slot. Okay? Awesome. So there you go. H7 guys. Okay guys, welcome back to the LED Kingdom by Jamaica Crashed and Used Vehicles. And today we will be identifying the H11 bulb. We know from our previous videos how to identify your bulbs. Your bulbs are identified by the plug and the neck. Right. Now, if you look at the plug here, this is a very unique plug. Well, it almost resembles the 9005 and 9006 plugs, but the difference is that these sprungs inside, those male sprungs right there, they are further apart in the 9005 and 9006 bulbs. They're not so close together. Alright, so that's how you can identify the plug itself. Now, as it relates to the neck for the H11 is very small. See that? With tiny sprungs kicking off, 3 of them, in which, see, one is a little bit broader than the other. Right. So this has been your H11 bulb. Where does your H11 bulb fit? Your H11 bulbs will fit in your fog lamps. However, there are some vehicles that actually carries H11 headlight. Okay, now these bulbs are single beam bulbs, which simply means they can be used in your high beam slots or your low beam slots, dependent on what your vehicle demands. These bulbs can be found in the Mark X, Toyota Mark X, in the fog lamp area. They can be found in the Tiana, that's Nissan Tiana, in the fog lamp area, and many other vehicles. So our next review will be the 9005 and 9006, and this has been the H11 LED Kingdom. Alright guys, welcome back to the LED Kingdom once more. And today we will be looking at our 9005 and the 9006 socket types. We will be looking at how to identify them. We have already gone through the H1, the H3, the H4, the H7, H11, and now we are at 9005 and 9006, which are these bulbs that we identified. These are common bulbs in Jamaica. Now, the 9005 and 9006 typically comes in the same vehicle. Okay, these bulbs are paired together because your 9005 is your high beam and your 9006 is your low beam. Okay, these bulbs comes in vehicles that have more than one slots. So typically if a vehicle has 9005, it will have 9006 slot as well. If it has 9005 as high beam, it will have 9006 as low beam. Okay, now let's look at how to identify the 9005, which is pretty much the same way you identify the 9006 because they look very similar. Now remember how we identify our bulbs: the plug and the neck. Right, now the plug and the neck on the 9005 and the 9006, they are the same, pretty much the same, with just a slight difference, guys. Look at the plugs. See? Same thing. Same neck, but not entirely the same neck. Right, now let us identify the 9005 different from the 9006. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but the 9006 is on the right, on my right here, and the 9005 is on my left here. Okay, now as we say that the 9005 is high beam and the 9006 is a low beam. Okay, now the 9006 bulb has a slight fatter neck in this region here than the 9005. I don't know if you guys can see it. I hope you guys can. See, over here it has a slight fatter neck, slightly fatter neck. You see, so if you try to fit a 9005 6 bulb in a 9005 slot, it will push the bulb out. It will not fit. Likewise, if you try to fit a 9005 bulb in a 9006 slot, it will more likely fall out. Right? So that is how you identify the 9005 and 9006 bulb. Now in our next video, we will be doing a very keen comparison of the 9005, 9006 and the H11 bulbs because of their appearance. LED Kingdom. Welcome back to the LED Kingdom by Jamaica Crashed and Used Vehicles. And today, as promised in our previous video, we will be looking at the difference between the 9005, 9006 bulb and the H11 bulb. Okay, why? Because of their plugs. Alright, so we'll just take the H11 and the 9006. Now on my left, I have the 9006 LED bulb. Okay, and if you watched our previous video, you will be able to recognize it really quickly. See, we also identified in our H11 video that the springs in the socket, that they are very far apart. They're very far apart, guys. So here's our H11 bulb right here in my right hand. Okay, you'll be able to identify the neck separate. You'll be able to differentiate the neck different from the neck of the 9006 However, look at the plugs, guys. See, plugs are very similar on the outside, but if you look on the inside, you will see that the 9006, the male springs are further apart. Yes, they are. Also, if you look on the side of each plug, on the H11 plug, you will see some springs kicking off on the two ends. So that is how you differentiate the plug type of the H11 and the 9005/9006. Okay? It's LED Kingdom. You make professional vehicles.